As earlier we were talking about the whole developer experience, how does Clutch kind of maintains, enhances, bring back the developers into the Kubernetes ecosystem?
It is very important, especially if you're talking about application developers. Most of the application developers, they aren't DevOps experts, right? If you look at large organizations that are, on a path of a digital transformation, application developers don't have the time to focus on, hey, how do you run a database within Kubernetes? Or stepping outside and learning how AWS works is also complicated for them. You want to provide them with an interface that's easy to learn and easy to handle, but is mighty enough to give them the operational, responsibility for a database. And that's the abstractions that are introduced by Klutch, like the service instance, like the service binding, a backup plan, a restore and a backup. So that covers the lifecycle of the data service to the extent necessary. So, for example, if an application developer, does a mistake and wants to revert back to a backup, that's self-service capable. You just execute a restore operation and you go back. And Clutch takes care of this by delegating it to the automation backend. And now one major question is like, what are the kind of data services that Clutch can actually mitigate and integrate? And we've been thinking about that quite a lot, and how to do that in particular, because there were already technologies in the CNCF, such as Crossplane, for example, where Crossplane seems to be the technology of choice when trying to reconcile from Kubernetes the creation and management of resources that are potentially outside of a Kubernetes cluster. And with data service backends, this might be the case. However, Clutch is more domain specific, more specific to cloud service management than Crossplane is, in the sense that it provides those abstractions that are the foundation for the developer experience. So Clutch introduces those abstractions, but in the end leverages the mighty and the vastness of Crossplane integrations that there are. So you can use anything that has a Crossplane integration and write a Clutch integration from it with relatively easy means, and thus leveraging the growing Crossplane ecosystem as well when integrating services using Clutch.